Hello everyone, my name is Christy and this is my part 2 to my IVF video. This is sort of like the results, what we got out of IVF. I have another video before this that talks about why me and my partner decided to do IVF and the reason behind it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. Time has gone by pretty fast. I think that was like 5-6 months ago that I filmed that video and I was very nervous. And yeah, so we're gonna talk about that, but first I need a sip of water. So fast forward, we were supposed to do a cycle in January, but our schedules were very busy. We did not have time to really put that all in because IVF just is a lot. Like there's appointments, you're constantly getting calls, you're in the clinic, blood work, they're monitoring you. Like it's very like intense. So sorry, I'm good. I just I don't know why I'm like coughing, but anyways, it's like really intense. So we were kind of just waiting to like see when was the perfect time. Hold on, is this steady? Okay. When would be the perfect time to start? So we decided to start like March with our very first cycle. We went in, they gave us like a whole calendar and explained what medications we'd be taking, and they had me on a really high dose of all this medication because we were starting off like, I guess, very aggressive. I don't know. So I started off with really high doses of these medications. I've never had to like self-inject anything. So I was nervous about that. As you guys know, I am very terrified of needles. I like close my eyes. I can't even look at it. So this was a very terrifying experience for me. But luckily, my fiance is very supportive and he was like, I can do it. Like I can give you these medications, not a problem. He was very supportive. I did have to go to these appointments. There are times where he couldn't go with me, but having his support was like super, super, super amazing. And it made the experience so much better because I was like, dude, I can't even, like, how am I gonna inject myself if I can't even look at a needle? Like, this is the girl who used to like pass out getting her blood drawn. So anyways, I was like whole fine. I was like, yeah, let's get her schedule, whatever. So start day 1, it was like the first day of stims, like injecting your medication. I had to take like 4 and I just lost it that first day because I don't like shots, I don't like injections, like I don't like that. So when it became first day, I was terrified. It took me like a good like 20-30 minutes to do the first one. I was like, all right, let's just do it. So funny enough, I went on Reddit and I was like, what do people do? I need tips and tricks. And Reddit is just an amazing place for, you know, to go and hear about other people's experiences. And I got such great ideas. Like people were like, make sure you ice it before you, inject, or they'll be like, have a sweet treat after, to get, excited or happy that you did it. Someone was like, make it like a nice dim, like make sure you're in like a nice safe area, a place where you feel comfortable, maybe putting music. So I did all that. So the first time I didn't ice it. I was kind of just like, let's just try it. I'm not gonna ice it because I don't know, that makes me nervous. I was just like, I don't want to do that. And then I was like, music sounds good because I love music. Me and my fiance both love music. And someone on Reddit suggested the song Shots by the Shots song by LMFAO. So I did that. So I told my fiance, I was like, can we put the Shot song on? And he just like laughed. He's like, what? I was like, I don't know, like, let's just try it. So I put it on as a background and it distracted me. Like, I don't know what it is. Like the silence kind of, I don't like silence, so it was nice to have some sort of music in the background. So we put on the shot song, and then he went down, gave me my injection, and it was fine. I was like, wow, that was fast. And I was like, okay. But like slowly but surely I was getting used to it. But that first day, let me tell you, I was terrified. So I'm actually very, very happy and proud of myself for doing it. Like, you know, like I was like, I don't think I can do IVF because I'm so scared. Like you know, like I'm happy that it didn't stop me from doing this. But because guys, I was very, very, very nervous. So I didn't know if I could do it. So if anyone doesn't know, IVF starts with the I took birth control for like a week or so, and then you start the hormone injections, and then while you're doing that, you're monitoring every other day with blood work and ultrasound, like to see how your follicles are growing. At the end of that cycle, I had like maybe 3 really big follicles at most, but it was like our first cycle, and we were like, we just didn't know if that was like, because this was like max dose, so we was like, is this the most that my body can do or give me? Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, is 3 is all I'm gonna get? Like maybe I should just be okay with that. This was all new for us. We had no idea. So we decided to have an egg retrieval with these 3 potential big follicles, hoping that they would give us 3 eggs. The result of this egg retrieval was not what I expected. We did a single trigger shot the night, well, 2 nights before the egg retrieval. I went in for this first egg retrieval, and I was the only patient that day. It was like on a Saturday or Sunday. I was super nervous. I've never done like any procedure, and they told us we had 0 retrieved, 0 eggs. And that was like the hardest news I've ever gotten. I was like loopy and sleepy from the egg retrieval, but I was kind of in just shock. I was like, 0? Like I was just like, how does that even like happen? So I guess like they didn't like detach, like they couldn't like suction in, they couldn't get it out, I guess. We actually don't know why it didn't work, because we were hoping for the 3 that were there, but it just didn't work. So after that, we just had a week. Honestly, after that egg retrieval, I felt the worst. Like my hormone, like, because you have such a drop from hormones to no hormones, I was like super sad, depressed. I had no motivation to do anything, and I was just so sad. Like I was just always depressed. I was like, I don't want to feel like this. And it made it even worse. I was just coming out of, you know, anesthesia procedure, and then to have the bad news, it just makes the recovery so much harder. So a few days went by, and we're like, okay, we should kind of like follow up and figure out a plan, because we want to try again. Like I just want to keep trying. I don't want it to just be that. And it's still hard to think about, because it just hurt. Like I was just like, oh my God. But anyways, you move forward, you try your best, and you just, what can you do? You just move forward. That's all you can do. So we spoke to the doctor, and we're like, how can we do a different cycle? What would it look like? And so then we did do another cycle, like I would say almost a month later, because you have to like wait for your body to be ready for like another cycle. But this time I didn't do a lead-in with like birth control. I went in straight into like I think it's the luteal phase stimming. Like it was like different, like it was a different stim, and it was less hormones too. Like I wasn't injecting as much, as I was the first one. So it was a little different. And I was like, all right, let's try it. Hopefully it gives us the best results. We're hoping for the best here. So with this second round, I knew what to expect. I felt a little bit more comfortable. I was like, okay, I've gone through this fear of needles. I can do this. And it was hard. It was hard because if any of you've done IVF, what I did not like at all, that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get back on this, was the Menopur. And if you know, you know. The Menopur is like, it just stings. It feels like someone's like twisting and like just poking you in there, and it stings. It's like an injection that just, I hate it. So I was like, we have to do this again. But we were obviously just very hopeful. We're like, hopefully this is it. This is what we have to do. I mean, it's tough because there are people who do many, many different cycles. So it's like, will this be the one? We don't know. So we started our second cycle. This stim was maybe 10, 11 days. Towards the end of it, we had potentially 6, 7 big like follicles, which was like amazing because I was like, if statistically, like it's shown that with like my AMH, you can have the most like 5 or 6. So I had like that much, like 6 or 7. I was like, I was so surprised. So I was like, oh my gosh, we have potentially 6, 7 eggs if they were to retrieve, hopefully. So yeah, we were like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do the egg retrieval. But this time we did do like a 2 trigger shot, like a dual trigger shot, because we were so nervous at like the last one that we were not able to retrieve any. So they kind of wanted to make sure. So we did that trigger shot. And then we were scheduled for that egg retrieval. And I was like, I'm hoping for the best here. I went in thinking into it like, we're going to get like 6 or 7. And that's, you know, I'm happy with that. It's what my body can do. It's what it's giving me. I'm appreciative of that. That's what's going to happen, right? So after the procedure, we come out and I'm like waking up, and then my fiance's like, he's like, oh, do you want me to tell you like how many eggs they retrieve? And I was like, you know already? Like apparently they go in and they let him know first, and then I know. But I was like super excited. He looked happy. I was like, okay, it probably is good. And then he was like, we got 11. And I was like, what? I was like 11, because I mean, like overall from the ultrasounds, you can see that there are like 6 or 7 big like follicles, but like there's also like kind of other mini ones, but I don't know what they do. I think they kind of just take all a bunch. I didn't think that there was gonna be more that caught up, because sometimes like leading up to the egg retrieval, others can grow too, like other follicles, and meet the requirement or whatever. So when they told me 11, I was like, 11? I was like, oh my gosh. So we left that week super happy, and just at that point, the next step is waiting to see how many have fertilized and how many made it through the blastocyst and like all the final stages. So right the next day, they call and tell you how many got fertilized. So the total they took them out was 11. And then we found out that 7 got fertilized, and we had to wait like about 4 or 5 days to see how many like actually made it. And that was like the longest week of my life. And then soon enough, they were like, oh, 4 made it. And I was like, 4? Like, it was just like amazing. Like, we were just over the top happy about it. And now looking at it, I'm just like I'm so happy that we like kept trying, and like we went forward with another cycle, because that would have never happened if I didn't, or even like if I didn't do IVF because of the fear of you know, these procedures and everything, because it was like a really big deal for me. Like, talking about it is like super easy, but like going through it was like the hardest part. And I was emotional, I was scared, I was sad. It was just like I'm like, you think it's like straightforward, but it's like up and down, up and down. Like, not only are you going in for these ultrasounds, but like you're dependent on these like blood work, these results, because you know they have to be at a certain level. And then, you know, some days it's like they're not showing what they're supposed to be showing, and some follicles take longer than others. Like, it's just like an emotional roller coaster, and I did not think it was going to be. After that, we were so happy, and we're like, okay, we need to take a break. And ever since then, we're like taking a break and not rushing straight into the next steps. Now we're kind of just like, okay, let's have like us time, because it was hard. It was like going through work and like school and doing all that. Like, it really just took a huge toll on a lot of other things, but the outcome was super amazing, and we're super happy. And I'm just kind of here to tell you that if you're going through it, stay hopeful, stay strong, and you'll be able to do it. You are literally able to do anything and everything. And yeah, hopefully I will make another video updating on what will come, what will come after, what are our plans. But yeah, 4 embryos is amazing. Thank you guys so much for listening, and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you guys so much. Bye.